All right. Thank you for watching this video to continue the series that I'm doing here. Last video, we implemented some software rate. Now we're going to have a bit of introduction to digital forensics a bit. And with our first our first exercise being acquiring an image of evidence media. And um, with that being said, after you retrieve and secure the evidence, you're ready to copy the evidence media and analyze the data. The first rule of digital forensics, at least so I've read, is to preserve the original evidence, right? So then you want to conduct your analysis only on a copy of the data. So the image of the original medium, right? So several vendors provide MS-DOS, Linux, and Windows acquisition tools. However, though they require a write blocking device when acquiring data from FAT or NTFS file systems. But nonetheless, to get started, we're gonna start with using ProDiscover Basic to acquire a drive image. So ProDiscover Basic, it's from Technology Pathways, right? It's a forensic analysis tool. So we can actually use it to acquire and analyze data from several different file systems, such as Microsoft FAT, NTFS, Linux, and a few other like Unix file systems as well. So let's head to File Explorer, and then let's put in here so we can get the data files. So we're going to use this folder for data storage and other related files, right? So that ProDiscover creates when acquiring and analyzing the evidence we're going to uncover, right? So just going to close this out, right? So now we're just going to walk through how to acquire an image of a drive E called USB. It's not an actual USB drive, of course, but a fixed drive on a computer system, since it is a lab, a virtual lab. So let's see. It's going to start ProBasic and ProDiscover with the admin, right? Okay, out of our way. Let's see, capture image. Okay, so it should be a source drive. Then E, then this button here. Choose local path. Then we want to save as, well, actually, let's see what we're going to save to actually first. Then work at data files, then CH1 folder. We are going to name this one INCHP practice. All right, perfect. So we saved that. So now back to capture image. We're going to type my name, the technician, of course. And in the image number, we're going to do what I just named the file. Well, for the most part, name the file. Oh, come on. Like I may need to refresh. There it is. Okay, perfect. Okay. So now it acquires an image of the target drive, as we can see from the status of the drive capturing at the bottom of the window here. So it takes a few seconds, not too long. But when it's finished, it usually displays a notice, right, to check the log file created during the acquisition. So it contains additional information if errors were encountered during the data acquisition. And ProDiscover also creates an MD5 hash output file. So it's pretty much MD5 is just for forensic analysis and evidence validation. So let's actually, let's see, is it finished? No, got quite a while to go. Let's sit tight, and then we'll be able to close it and move forward. All right, so as we can see, the image capture has been complete. So we can check the log files for any errors. So we're going to exit out the application here. So next, we're going to learn how to locate data in an acquisition, right? So to do that, we're just going to be analyzing our digital evidence, right? So our job is to recover the data. So if users have deleted or overwritten files on a disk, right, and that disk contains deleted files and file fragments in addition to existing files, remember that as files are deleted, the space they occupy becomes free space. So meaning that it could be used for new files that are saved or files that expand as data is added to them. So the files that were deleted on the disk until a new file is saved on the same physical location, overriding the original file. In the meantime, those files can still be retrieved technically. So that's why we use forensic tools like the ProDiscover Basic, so it can retrieve those deleted files for use as evidence, right? So we're going to do a few things in this task. We're going to use ProDiscovery again to analyze evidence. We're going to create a report, view the report, and export it as well. So let's start this again. Actually, you know what? I did it wrong. Started with admin, right? Yes. And then we're going to create a new case. New project. Then it's going to be, let's see, what I just named that. Might require both. Okay. All right, perfect. And then let's do add. All right, and then image file. Perfect. So now we should go to work. One. There we go. Open. Should give us a message box in a second. No message box. All right, let's fix this. All right, so we got everything taken care of, so we can move forward. So to take a look, we're going to expand images. We're going to click the file name. There it is. We see all the data here, the metadata. And now let's click the plus in front of the image path name. Let's see all files here. Oof. Okay, not too bad. I thought it would be a lot more than that. So so now it's loaded in the main window, right? So let's do some tracking. Let's take a look at tracking. We see the created date, the modified date, which is the day after. It was originally, well, the day after the original. And the data area, we see different contents, right? So different areas, and we can inspect the contents of the evidence, right? As far as the size, the attributes, things of that nature. I'm actually going to keep this open, just make it a bit smaller. And then we're going to take a look at analyzing the data, right? So searching for information related to a complaint, right? So data analysis can be the most time-consuming task, right? So even when we know exactly what to look for as far as the evidence, the method for locating evidentiary tasks or artifacts to search for specific known data values. It can be unique words or non-printable characters sometimes, like a hexadecimal code. I mean, Jesus Christ. There's also printable character codes that can be generated from a keyboard, like the copyright or trademark, registered trademark, or the symbol for that. And many digital forensics programs can search for character strings, right? And hexadecimal values. such as A9 for the copyright symbol, right? And AE for the registered trademark and things of that nature. For this case, that's why we're keeping Pro Discover open. So let's see. Let's take a look at search function here. Clicking. There it is. Yes, it should. Okay. Should be able to search. You know what? I'll just go here because for me to find it. So for content search tab, select all matches, right? And the ACI should be already checked. Search for pattern. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna search for this one. 810. Now we can list keywords in here separately, or combine words with the Boolean logic as far as operators, like and or not. Searching for a common keyword produces too many hits, and it can make it difficult to locate evidence of interest to the case. So applying Boolean logic can help reduce unrelated excessive hits, which are called false positives, right? So let's click over here. Then we're gonna click OK to start the search, right? And now when the search is finished, it'll display the results in our search results pane, right, in the work area. So actually, it should label it as, well, it's already labeled. I was going to label it as search one, but it's already labeled. So just want to click tracking here so we can actually see it. And so now it's because of what I wanted it to search for, it has contained the string for PLAB when 810, right? So let's see. Okay. Search results. Well, we're already there. All right, so we could pretty much just examine the data, right? If there's anything that's in here. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it's just basic stuff. This is a practice class, right? So, so just pretty much just searching the tree results, right? And now we can move forward with creating a report for the findings that we have for after analyzing the evidence that we found. We can select specific items and add them to the report. For example, to select a file in a work area, we can click the checkbox and select column next to the file to open to add the comment dialog box. And then just descriptive comment, really. They just added to the Pro Discover basic report. So we're going to actually do that now. Let's see. Forgot where it is. There it is. Okay, perfect. So we see the evidence report for the project that I named earlier, the project number that I named earlier, or labeled another, and all of the information so far, as far as the interest, how many disks, interest, registry fees, things of that nature, project notes, right? And then to print the report, we just do file and print report, right, from the menu. Now, of course, since there are no physical printers on a lab device, we'll opt out of printing the reports using the document writer. So just click OK. I'll just cancel. Actually, you know what? I'll do it anyway. See what happens. Um, let's save. All right, so let me minimize this here. And now let's try to actually view the report. So let's go to File Explorer, right? Then local work, data, then there it is, the report itself. There it is. And pretty much everything that we saw initially in the application for ProDiscover, it's showing us just in another format. Um, as far as any information group, the audit, list of files, and etc. All right, so actually, I'm just going to close this out. So it'll let me, let's see, there it is. Kind of a weird application. All right, so let's take a look at exporting the report, right? So if the report needs to be saved to a file, ProDiscover has a feature, export feature, and you can choose RTF or plain text for the file format. To export the file, we'll just out of this. Not. Okay, let's look at this. All right, so I figured a way out of the report. It's kind of weird, but so as far as exporting, so we're going to head back to ProDiscover, open project, and then of course get back to where we were. Actually, we can save it. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, it doesn't really matter. No. Okay, so what are we doing? Now I'm tripping. Okay. All right, so then we can just go back to where we were before, right? So actually, so when the project is open, let's see, do this one here. Then we can go back to file and then open image. And then we'll verify the path, right? To open it here. And then after that, we just click report. And then let's see, action, exports. And then we're just gonna leave it at the RTF format, right? I mentioned that earlier. And browse, and then the name that I gave, the whatchamacallit. Actually, make sure. Yeah, I was in the right folder. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so we can do that there. Okay. All right, perfect. So now I'm just going to reopen File Explorer, and it'll have it. I believe this is it here. Yeah. Yep. Here it is. So let's see. How do we want to open this? We want to click Program Files here. Then it should give us open the app. Yep. All right, and next. And then let's see. Oh, oh. All right, so now it completes our analysis of the USB drive. And now we're going to learn how to complete the case. So, and applied more search and analysis techniques as well. But we just exported the report. And it tells us also who it was, well, what application created the report as well. So now we're going to do an analysis example, right? So performing analysis on the images is used to extract out evidence, right, that an activity has taken place by correlating key pieces of information, such as times, dates, and names, right, function being performed on the device in question, or the time of question. So we're going to do some image examination, right? What's actually on the server? Post this stuff out here. So we're going to start with examining a USB drive. That's what I'll be doing, belonging to an employee who left a company, but now works for a competitor. And the law department, let's say that they're concerned, right, with the former employee. He might possess some sensitive company data, and we, wish to know whether the USB drive contains anything significant. So further, the former employee might have had access to confidential documents because a coworker saw him accessing his manager's computer on this last day of work. So these confidential documents consist of 24 files with a text fragment, right? So they want me rather to locate any occurrences of these files on a USB drive's bit stream, the image. So to process this case, I'll have to use a file rather called FAT search test image. And then I'm also going to use it in conjunction with ProDiscover. So I'm going to close it out. Just going to reopen it back up with admin rights, of course. All right. So much better. Okay. All right, so let's go here. And we're gonna add an image file. So let's go to here. Save it. Is it on the local? Yeah, program files. Technology. Okay. Not the wrong one. There it is. ProDiscover, sample images. FAT search. Should be an auto image checksum that populated as far as the message box, but nonetheless, we'll continue. So in the content view, let's open up the images here. And it doesn't want to let me. All right, so now we have the images, we're gonna open up the pathway that we've just opened in the File Explorer, right? So in the work area here, we're gonna examine the files that are listed. So file 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna search for the keyword fragment. And to do that, we're gonna do the search toolbar button in the search dialog box here. Let's see. So now we're looking for all patterns for that word, and if necessary, I may do the content search tab as well. Actually, let me do that. Okay, let's fix this. All right, so we got everything back on track. I actually ran a second search, the exact same search, and we got a nice cluster of hits, right, as far as looking for the fragment. It did take a little longer because each cluster on the drive is searched for that particular keyword, right? So now we can actually examine keywords. So let's just say, for example, we're notified that the former employee has used an additional drive. So now we're asked to examine this new drive, or I'm asked to examine this new drive to determine whether it contains an account number the employee might have had access to. So the keyword, let's see, one CRO belongs to the senior VP and is used to access the company's banking service over the internet. So what we can do is to examine this. Let's see, if we did, let's go to a new project. No. Let's see, let's go with the project name we had. I think we had C1PR J03, right? Actually, let's see. Cancel this. Let me actually go back. I'll just do a new project. C1PR J03. Brief description. If I can spell. Oh, all right, that might be important. All right, so to add evidence, right, we would click the action menu and we would go to add and then image file, right? So then we would go to the pathway that I went to before to go to the FAT search, right? And then we would hit open. Then of course we would, should be a checksum message box, but while we're waiting, if it does populate, I doubt it does at this point, but to aid in my investigation, I might want to view some graphic files on the drive. So to do this, I would expand the content view if it wasn't expanded already in the tree view, and I would expand images as well, and then click the path name itself, right, containing the image file. So let's see, the view menu, and let's do gallery view. Right, so it looks a little bit different, right? So we can scroll through the graphic files on the drive, and we can search through all the folders, which can take some time. As I mentioned, it just takes a while as far as doing any sort of digital forensics and analysis, right? And if a file is of interest, we can actually check that box. As you can see, the check marks here. It's about to point to the screen, my physical finger. And then we can put it in the select column, and then in the add comment dialog box, it'll open, and then we can enter a description of why that may be a file of interest, and then we'll be able to hit OK. And these notes are added to the Bro Discovery report that I showcased earlier in this video as well. So even with this drive, we're still looking for the occurrences of the word fragment. So we can repeat the same steps just to make sure we're taking a look at everything, right? Actually, let me not do that. I'll just sift through here. Pretty much everything that we were able to find. And now I'm going to search for another keyword. Number one is then CRO. Now, even though we're taking a look at image files, remember that text can be found in graphic files as well as in documents. So if our search results produces no findings, we might have to search graphics and picture files separately for evidence. So actually, let's do another search function here. CRO. And the pathway content search. Actually, no, we're going to do a cluster search. AFCI, AFCI. I'll search. There we go. And then it's not the gallery. Pockets, no. But nonetheless, we can now click the report here. And we can scroll through the report like we did earlier to make sure all the items that we found were listed. And we can actually click on the report underneath the project that we have. And then click then we would do an export as far as the tool to have it stored in the report stored in a different folder. Right, so now we can take a look at allocating data. So sometimes discovery demands from law firms require you to discover only allocated data from a disk. So we'll just be extracting just the files that haven't been completed from an image. So let's go to new project. Let's see. Sure. Actually, I kind of don't care. All right, so now we can just do again the same project number that I had before. C1 PRJ, then we'll do just 04 this time. And then we can click open or OK. So let me. All right. And then we can do some add. All right. And then disk. Then we can do the physical OneDrive. Unique name, it'll be the same name, at least for the purposes of this lab. And then it's saved, right? So, well, not saved, but it's done, right? As far as having a new project and then being able to allocate the data somewhere. So in the tree view, we can click to expand the content view. I already did that. And then the disk and the physical drive, so that's where we put it. And now we see all the files displayed here, right, in the work area. So so we can actually also take a look at the column header deleted to sort the files into yes and no groups, right? Actually, let me put everything out here. And then that, or sort them however you like, right? But just give an example of how we can sort them, right? These are all nodes, but to get the point. So now to extract the allocated files from the image to our work folder, to my work folder, we'll have to right click each file containing no in the deleted column and click copy file. But note that in ProDiscover, there's no way to select multiple files at once, so it's painstakingly done, and we must copy each allocated file separately. So, so I'll just leave that there. Now, as far as a report example, now reports are key to absolutely any investigation, especially in a digital forensic investigation that's done. And a very important part of the process with confirming the actions that took place during an investigation. So we'll be do some report listing for unallocated files. All right. So for the report listing for the unallocated files, I'll use these. These are all deleted. Well, they're not deleted actually, but I'll just use this. Let's see. Let's save project, and actually this name is fine. The auto checksum still doesn't catch, which is super weird. In the project files, actually, let me make sure it's being saved properly. We'll do that here, and then we can still add. Right, and then let's see, content view, then disk, physical drive, E. Now, if necessary, we can sort the files also by clicking the deleted column header to click the checkbox in the select column next to any unallocated file. I'm sorry, any allocated, not unallocated. So it's pretty much when we click each box, right, to extract anything and we place in our comments. I'll just blah blah blah. That's how I feel at the moment. I see neither here nor there. So as the comment dialog box open, we can enter a description for each file as to why they're a file of interest. So you just want to, but in all seriousness, you just want to add a comment noting that the file is on the disk and indicating its file type, right? So such as a Word document or an image file like a JPEG or a GIF, for instance, and be sure to enter something meaningful, right? By examining the file first, at least. So when you're finished, you just want to click report in the tree view. And if you're satisfied, you export the report as I showed earlier. And that's pretty much the end of this video. All right, as far as our slight introduction to digital forensics and everything that we went over, as far as a brief recap, we acquired an image of evidence media. We analyzed digital evidence a bit, some analysis examples, report examples, and went just a tad bit, at least just a bare minimum surface of keyword search example as well. Now for the next video, we'll be getting into implementing AD Federation services, and I'll see you in that video as well.